Hello, Annie here from Annie Lee Associates. I wanted to do a post today around the topic of uncertainty and how our brains cope with it, what our natural sort of reactions are to it, and also maybe put forward some practical considerations that we could bear in mind as we go through this period of rapid change. So the first thing to say is that the brain craves certainty. That's why a lot of us feel so incredibly uncomfortable at the moment with conflicting evidence, with rules and laws changing all the time, not knowing, what are the next couple of weeks, let alone couple of months look like. So at the moment, your limbic system, or our limbic system, is on high alert. And it's literally like some sort of alarms going off in there for our stress response systems. And we're natural reaction is to crave some sort, or is to gain some sort of certainty. And this can be like looking at social media, looking at every single report, looking at every single news item, etc. on the coronavirus, on the COVID-19 pandemic. And what I'm, I suppose, asking you, inviting you to do is just to take a little step back and think, how is this serving me? How is this helping me deal with the situation? So I see it on social media, I see it on Facebook in particular, and it concerns me. I've certainly put into place some limiting or some sort of routines. So I'm limiting my exposure to the sort of platforms where I would be exposed to all of these sort of news items, or so-called news items. So one thing you could be doing is limiting your exposure. So maybe going on social media just once or twice a day, or at certain periods during the day, watching the news only once or twice a day. But a constant alert is going to fire up your limbic system every single time you either look at a piece, come across a piece, or get those alerts on your phone. So that's one practical consideration. Another one is thinking about that craving of the brain for certainty, is to create a routine. So a lot of us are working from home now, and and have our children at home, and we have that potentially for quite a long period of time. So from a routine point of view, just creating a routine will help the brain just settle down and know what's coming up in the day. It also helps in what's called decision fatigue. So if you can plan a bit your day, the more decisions we have to make, of course, normally our days are quite structured, aren't they, during the week anyway, if we're at work or business or at school. So during the week, I'm inviting you to create your own routine, create some plans. The more decisions we have to make during the day, the quicker and potentially worse our decision-making capacity gets during the day. It's why we tend to sort of reach for the easiest meal at the end of the day, whereas, at the beginning of the day, we're absolutely fresh, we make really good choices. But at the end of the day, we've made so many mental choices that we suffer from this thing psychologists call decision fatigue. So there are my two main bits of advice: is create a routine and limit exposure to news feeds. I'm sure I'll have a lot more. I'm sure you'll have a lot more. And all I would do is encourage sharing of those stories and coping mechanisms, and also just keep looking for any glimmers of opportunity within this period. I understand it is going to be extremely tough for a certain number of the population, but I do encourage just try and look at the opportunities within this period of time. and take care. That's the most important thing, I suppose. Bye bye.